Mongochatter. Yes. Mongochatter 9. Austin Fischer here from the great Pacific Northwest. Where are you at now? You said Snoqualmie?
Yeah, Snoqualmie.
Hell yeah. Right on. How are you? What are you up to this evening?
Just hanging out, chilling.
Yeah.
Wife and kids are staying at the in-laws tonight. Just
Oh.
so
Bachelor pad.
yeah, I got the house to myself, which is it's eerily quiet. Having a 6-year-old daughter who's talking nonstop, and a almost 3-month-old son who's you know sleeps and or cries. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of eerily quiet tonight.
So I caught you on a good night.
Yeah, definitely.
That's sick. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. What you got in the Let's Go Skate Club mug? What's in the
A little bit of lemonade
Ah, very
since
nice.
it's a little late for coffee.
Yeah.
It was coffee earlier, but now not.
Dude, I was debating coffee, but yeah, it's like I get into the weird sleep schedule, especially like when quarantine became a thing. It was just like, I was always kind of a weirdo anyways. Eat when I'm hungry, sleep when I'm tired, but it's like I took that concept during quarantine to new extremes, you know what I mean?
Mongochatter. I like the name. Tell
Oh,
me a little bit about where the name came from.
it just it came to me like a mirage, like a fevered mirage, dude. Like I told my friend OJ the name Mongochatter, and I know that he doesn't really fuck with any whack shit. And he's pretty like brutally honest, and he was like, yeah, when he said that was cool, I was like, oh, okay, this might be something. I had this kind of like flim flam podcast that started and stopped like when I lived in California, and then somewhat again in Seattle. It was like John Hanks's Pipe Dreams, and I was working with this dude at this Mexican restaurant in Santa Cruz, and he was like technically proficient. He could have helped me tonight. But I was like, yo, dude, I want to start a podcast. And, but like I suck at fucking computers. And, he's like, do it. He's like, don't make it a pipe dream. So, and then, like half pipes, full pipes, and then like smoking weed. I was like, oh, it's John Hanks's Pipe Dreams. But it just, that fell by the wayside, honestly. I got involved with other creative and personal endeavors, and I didn't consistently do it. And then when the quarantine hit, I just was like, I guess I'm going to do this Mongochatter thing for better or worse. I'm going to be that guy that does a weekly podcast from the depths of my quarantine. I can get it dialed, and if I hang in there, I can be good at it. Like, I've gotten good at editing over the years, but I'm just not very like that. I've never been like that type of person that was particularly good at math or science or that type of video games or that type of shit, you know what I mean? I've always been a
Yeah,
little bit more like abstract, kind of like English history, language arts type stuff.
dude. I'm exactly the same,
Really?
dude. That's yeah, totally. Like my through school, I always did great in like language arts, writing, history. Like I love history, but it's like the math and science part. I just never. I don't know. There was just like a wall, and I just
How did
never enjoyed it.
what did you think about geometry? Because I felt a little bit differently about geometry personally. I was
Geometry,
I was like freakishly good at geometry, but I sucked at all
no,
other math.
dude. I was very similar to that as well. I couldn't even tell you why, but I remember because like in school you had like algebra, then geometry, and then advanced algebra or something that I can't. I think that's how it went, but it was like geometry was easier than algebra.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
It's more tangible to me. Like it's like
yeah,
you're dealing with shapes, you know. Um,
yeah. I mean, shit. You give me one of those a test on something like that now.
Yeah.
I probably don't remember any of that. That was a long ass time ago.
Pythagorean theorem. That's actually what helped me learn it, is that there's like, it would be like a language based rule or law. It wasn't just
Yeah,
these fucking crazy numbers and X's and Y's. It was like, if two parts of a triangle make another triangle, then that, you know what I mean? It was like a riddle.
yeah,
It felt more
yeah.
like a riddle.
Honestly, that's probably what it is. Because he's like, if we're, we both like the language arts, reading, writing portion of that, using that part of the brain. That's probably what the connection is, and why we seem to
Well,
relate more with that.
I want to connect it to skateboarding because geometry, you know?
No, yeah,
And then, like,
yep.
I feel like, I don't know if it's just the cool guy image or it has something to do with geometry as well, but I feel like a lot of skateboarders, myself included, enjoy shooting pool during the downtimes, whether it be a rainy day or being hurt or hanging out at a tavern or whatever.
Hmm.
What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on billiards?
it's fun. I haven't done it enough to be any good at it, so I suck at it. But it's one of those things. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
I'm
always liked
I'm,
it.
I'm pretty good at darts.
Darts is okay. Darts is
Yeah,
more your bag than pool,
yeah,
but it's kind of like one or the other. You know what I mean? Like people or
yeah,
bowling too. There is bowling to consider,
yeah.
and mini
Usually,
golf,
I
dude. I fucking love mini golf.
dude,
That's
I'll fuck with the mini golf course all day long.
I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. I was joking with my friend the other day. I was telling my friend that my fucking knees hurt, and we were just texting back and forth, and I was like, man, I was just thinking this morning about how, like, when can I quit skateboarding and move to Florida? But dude, I'm gonna go to Florida and I'm gonna retire, but I'm gonna play mini golf. I'm not gonna be like a golfer. I'm just gonna go to all the different mini golf courses and like fucking that's how I'm gonna live out my days. I was going across country one time and I went to in Lake Delton, Wisconsin. There's like a mini golf course there with 48. It was a 48 hole
Oh
golf
damn.
course. And I played that 48 golf course in Lake Delton. And there was a Dreamland Park there too,
Yeah.
which was cool. Do you have like a favorite obstacle that you would like if you're just like desert island?
Ooh. Have you been to the Ellensburg skate park? Is it
Nah,
Eastern Washington?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's like an old, like it's been around since probably mid 90s. It's
Okay.
all like metal ramps,
Okay.
but there's like actually two different things there that I love. One of them is like just it's a small, like mellow spine. It's just a spine.
Like
Just
street spine
stand,
kind of?
yeah, like standalone, like quarter pipes on both sides. It's maybe 3 feet tall, maybe. So it's pretty mellow, but it's like fun. It's small enough that it's that's like easy to like learn like hard tricks
Yeah.
on or over and stuff. So I mean, that's like, yeah, it's a really good time. But also at the Ellensburg Park, they like DIY'd like a concrete ledge with like a ledge, and then it has a manual pad that's a little bit shorter than the ledge, so the ledge is like overhang. So it's like a little ledge to manual pad combo thing, and
Okay.
that's super fun. I really enjoy skating that. But so if I had to pick something, I'd say probably one of those two things. How about you?
Pushing through like a very crowded street where there's like lots
Mm-hmm.
of people and it's like going like skating through Ballard is fucking I love that. That gets me so juiced where there's just like people holding hands and buying ice cream and fucking all this shit and they got their dogs. So it's like I dig that. I dig everything, but I'm giving you a really long-winded answer. I think my actual answer if we're playing the game is I guess I would just say probably a mini ramp. I like those sessions where you can have a radio, you could have a grill, you can be as progressive or gnarly, like you can push it as hard as you want, or you can just dick around and I mean, fuck, you could sleep on the thing. You know, like,
Yeah.
I guess I would just say at the end of the day, my favorite shit to skate would be a mini ramp because that's how I have always grown. Like when I was growing up, that was the most coveted thing around. We didn't have skate parks really, so it was like if someone had a mini ramp, that'd be like fucking the best. You would dream for weeks about going there.
That's sick.
So I think probably a mini ramp, but it's hard to say, you know? It's like it's real that's a hard one. As far as what mini ramp? Shit. Shit. That old ATS ramp, man, as slippery as it was, that old one with the
The blacktop
with
or
the black skate light. Yeah, I liked how that thing had like a fucking pole in the middle of it and just like I like fucking hectic shit like that. And I just have fond memories of those sessions. So, but then the new ramp they build is fucking wild too.
Yeah.
That thing was almost
Yeah,
like
with the spine.
too. Yeah, it was like almost like too perfect. It was my impression. Was like there's no. It was like not to diss it. It was fucking rad. But I was like skating it. It was like it lacked the sketchy grit that the other one demanded. You know. To be honest with you, man, not a day has gone by where I haven't been like, fuck. Like I wish I could just roll down to ATS. Like you know what I mean. I wish. I wish Seattle was like 3 hours away and not 30 hours away. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know, it's tough as you get older. Because I lived out there for 10 years, so I always felt this just draw. Always, whenever I was there, I just missed here so much. And then when I'm here, to be totally honest with you, I get so frustrated with like where I live, like culturally. Like as a society,
That's too bad.
got to dig to find water a little bit because there's great conversations and there's great people to be and there's down to good restaurants and all that shit. It's around, but it's just like the permeating pervasive shit is like McDonald's, pickup trucks, fucking, you know what I mean. Whatever.
Sure.
I don't know why I have such a problem with some of this stuff. Like I get so hung up on it. Like the NFL. I don't know why. It bothers me how much people fucking follow that shit and like what it means to people. You know what I mean? And it's like as I sit here and do my little skateboarding podcast, I'm trying to give Seattle a compliment in all this fucking naysaying, but I'm just saying it's like I miss the, for lack of better terms, I guess some of the liberal sensibilities that city offers compared to, I'm in suburban Massachusetts now, which would like to think of itself as a really liberal place, but it's like at least in my admittedly cynical point of view, down here everyone's like fucking hardy and shit, but like salty, but Washington's like people are like hardy but they're like nice. I don't know, at least that's one fucking stoned impression. I don't know what you think or what it's like. I'm always like proud to be a New Englander and a skateboarder. Like it's a lot to me. Like if it was a D&D archetype, I'd be like, that is a killer character combo. Skateboarder from New England, that's a winner. I'll take it. So I don't know if people from the Pacific Northwest think of themselves in the same way. I mean, actually, I know they do, but how do you feel?
I think there definitely is like a sense of like home pride. I think it kind of goes along with like what you're saying about being proud of where you're from, because it's like like nowadays with everything growing, there's new concrete, there's new sidewalks everywhere, but for years you just had like the salty sea air and all the rain just corroding everything, and it was like every road and sidewalk. And I mean, you've been to a lot of like the old, like classic, like Seattle spots. Most of those are so hard to skate and they're just so grimy. and
Even the
just
old parks. I thought you were gonna
chunky.
say I thought you were gonna mention like Kent
Hell,
Dent or something. You know, like.
yeah, I mean, even the old skate parks. I mean, everything up here like gets weathered. You know, in the Pacific Northwest, just with how much it does rain. You know, you just get a lot of pitted concrete. It's a sense of accomplishment when you do, you know, when you're out and about like skating or filming and you get a trick and it's out in the streets and you're just like, oh man, this is people have been skating this spot for 30 years and I just got something, you know, like
Yeah.
so it's kind of that sense of accomplishment. And you know, I think it's, you know, growing up here and living here like almost my whole life, like I can say that I'm proud to be where I'm from. I know like my parents raised me right and they taught me to accept everyone for who they are and what they are, and none of that shit matters. And you know, so it's like I feel like the majority of the people here are like that and a
Yeah.
little bit more open-minded, I guess.
By some anomaly, I just always have fucking hated racism ever since I was a little kid, and I know no one ever instructed me to be like that. I just have always had a hatred for that type of shit. Like I've never tolerated it
No.
since I was a little kid, and then like I think getting involved in like punk rock and shit, it was like not only will we not tolerate it, we will fucking fuck you up if you want to be like that. And when I moved to New York, it was like I had this realization where I was like, man, it's really hard to live in a place like New York City or San Francisco or Chicago or even Seattle. In some regards, Boston's kind of a glorified college town, but I mean, in New York, dude, if you want to be racist or homophobic or you have a problem with you don't like fucking short people, fat people, pink people, blue people, good luck. Because they're out there and you're going to have your fucking face in their armpit on the subway every morning when you're going to work. So it's like racism, that shit doesn't work in those big cities.
No.
That's like, and that's, you know, that's in a certain light, that's evolution. You know what I mean? That's fucking people living and working together in a public space and making it happen every day without killing each other over their cultural differences. They can kill each other for personal reasons, but you know,
Yeah.
like that, I'm a big fan of just the melting pot of big cities and people just
Yep.
getting along by even if that's not what they feel in their heart. It's like you're gonna make this work because it's gonna. You don't. No one wants to live their life in fucking a culture clash. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's like you think about like skateboarding. I mean, you started skating at a younger age than I did, you know, so it's like you may see this even more than I do, but just how inclusive skateboarding is. Like, what other thing can you do in this world where you can go to any city and show up at a park or like skate a spot and there's other people there skating and you don't know anybody and you can just like legit have a conversation with and connect with people. You know, like what else is there in this world
Yeah.
that connects us the way that skateboarding does? Like it's crazy. Like I have just been randomly, or not randomly, but like on vacation somewhere, and then I'll meet somebody at a skate park, and then it's like we become friends. So then it's like, hey, the next time I'm in town, I'm gonna hit you up and we're gonna skate. And it's
For
like,
sure.
but this is someone who like just a couple hours before was a complete stranger.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's one of the things that I've always loved about skateboarding is just how inclusive it is and the people that I've met through skateboarding, you know, and it's just, it's just fucking awesome.
You know, I grew up in a really small, predominantly white city in Massachusetts, and it's a city, but it's basically the suburbs. You know what I mean? And skating was inclusive in that in this arena it taught me to live as an outcast because we didn't have black people around really, and it wasn't cool to be vocally like gay, so I feel like kids in their teens that were into skateboarding or had green hair or whatever, or fucking were in the drama club or whatever, at that time, those were kind of the people who the majority scoffed at. And so I just kind of learned to live with that scarlet letter. And then I went to Burlington, Vermont, which is like this hippie enclave where it's like anything goes and everyone's encouraged to fucking be themselves. And it's like, it's New England and it's Vermont, but it's very free thinking. It reminds me, Seattle's always reminded me of a large scale Burlington. And Burlington's also, I don't want to say the stat wrong, but while I was there, it was like one of the huge epicenters of African immigration in this country. So it actually had a huge culturally diverse population and undertones and stuff. And when I got up there, the skate community was still predominantly, your classic white suburban sort of like surf influenced punk rock wannabe California type of thing. But then when I got to New York City, I moved to New York City in 2007, and I realized at that time that the stereotype wasn't what I thought it was. I didn't see that many kids playing basketball. I saw all these kids in the hood and people of color and young kids coming up in the city that were into skating. And that was, I don't know if that was just because I was in New York or it was that point in time in skating's history where it kind of reached that sort of it became more accepted, I think, in urban. I mean, it's I don't want to generalize, but I think like people like Stevie Williams came along and shit, or like TK or whatever, like, and kind of made it a little bit more broadly accepted. I don't know, I'm not black, but it seems like the narrative is like it became a little bit more accepted in larger cities and in black communities to actually go skate. And so I remember when I moved to New York, I saw all these kids skating, and I was really impressed by that. Like, oh damn, like it's not just skating has moved from beyond the suburbs, and it really is. It's permeating everywhere now. And then when I got to California, I realized skating really is truly inclusive. I do think that there's a great opportunity for skaters, and whether or not the rest of the world knows it, we can kind of show the world how it's done by how we deal with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my tribe, dude. This is the way. If I'm going down, this is how I'm going down as a skateboarder. So it's like if the world's ending right now and we're looking at civil war and fucking viruses and race riots and police oppression and everything else, it's like I'm standing here with the skateboarders. So, and skateboarders, we don't fucking care about all that other shit. So we have a good opportunity here to just be like, you guys are fucking tripping, and we're just gonna fucking, and not only that, like, we can, in our way, like we're having this intelligent conversation right now, fucking Scoops can organize a fucking a go skateboarding rally. You know what I mean? There's ways that you can be a skateboarder and be effective and be a part of a greater conversation that's and you can still maintain your skate ratness through it all. You know what I mean? I think, sure. I hope.
Absolutely.
I think that if you talk to anyone in my community, they would not consider this to be like a particularly prejudiced place. But I feel like the fact that I've traveled around a lot, and then given everything that's happened, sort of, it's not even like it's come to light recently, because those of us, we've been paying attention for, like, I've been fucking listening to Public Enemy since I was 9. Like, this, none of this shit is new, you know? But it's like, it's now collectively, consciously, currently, culturally, it's coming to light. It's coming to the forefront of the lobe of, like, society finally. And I just gotta say, around here where I grew up, I think we've all been sitting fucking pretty and privileged and just keeping the world at bay. Like, it's fucking, yeah, I saw that crazy shit on the news. Oof, Ebola virus. Oof, missed that one, you know? And so it's like, I just wanted to point that out, where it's like, yes, it's inclusive and stuff, but it's like, I feel like there's a long way to go. And we have a good opportunity, because we've had for such a long time, the whole history of skateboarding has just been like making it ourselves. I want it to be as inclusive as possible, you know? Did you ever experience like people fucking with you just because you were a skater, like growing up, like getting yelled at from cars or that type of shit?
Oh, I mean, that was like all the time, dude. People would drive by, you know, the old Issaquah skate park was just below the road that was right next to like the high school. So it was like anytime the buses would leave, or like, you know, the football team's on the bus, you know, they're yelling their homophobic slurs, you know, at us. And, you know, I'm not even going to say them, because I don't, you know, I don't need to. And I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was like a lot of that kind of shit, you know, and you're driving or you're skating downtown Seattle, or, you know, someone yelling at you, you know, and it's like nowadays everyone's like, do a kickflip, you know, but, you know, back then it wasn't that, you know, it was like, at times it actually felt like hate in a way.
Yeah.
They got this fucking macho testosterone bullshit. And I feel like that's where a lot of the fucking hatred and fucking racism shit comes from, is like, you know, that same kind of mentality that it takes to like just pick on somebody just because they don't play football or whatever.
Dude, I mean, so the high school that I went to on, I think it was, I'll give benefit of the doubt. I think it was only on game days, or maybe even only on home game days. But I know for a fact this is true. In the hot lunch line, like in lunch in high school, football players had privileges. They could go ahead of us in line and eat first. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but like, what kind of, and I was the kind of kid who I was always thinking, like, what kind of a message does that send? Yeah. You're like, damn, like, these kids are like, it's like so, like, medieval. Like, we gotta feed our gladiators, like, you fucking kids out front, like, you're going under the big lights tonight. It's like, I don't know, that was heavy, and it was just like, and, I think as a skater, you know, you're getting hurt all the time and doing these, like, in some cases, some might even deem, like, incredible athletic feats, but it's like in a fucking 7-Eleven parking lot on a Tuesday night at like 8 p.m. and no one fucking knows about it. But, you know, these kids, they're just like sitting on a bench underneath these lights on a Friday night, and they get to eat lunch first. It just pissed me off to no end, and it made me like, it would just make me all the more like, well, I'm definitely a fucking skater now. Like, there's no, fuck that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. You know, what curriculum? Who's at the top that signs that paper that says that's cool? That certain kids can get fucking lunch, and our young gladiators are the ones that we fucking value more. You know?
Yeah.
I can't believe skateboarding was going to be in the Olympics, and then it bailed.
Yeah. Well, it still is.
Next year, right?
Yeah, 2021.
That gives me a weird vibe. I don't think that's a
Yeah.
good. I don't think that's a good move, dude. That's bad mojo. To have the, they need to wait. They need to wait. They need to take a miss and go, dude. Keep on the 4 year. Because then what? Will the next Olympics be in 2025 or will they be 3 years?
I don't know. Be interesting to see how that plays out.
Totally. On the tired although I certainly think it's more of an interesting subject now than it has been in the past year or two. But what are your thoughts on Olympic skateboarding?
I don't know. Like, I'm torn with it because it's like when I started skateboarding, like, I didn't do it because everybody else was doing it. Like, I started skateboarding because a couple of my friends started, and and it looked fun to me. And it's like, for me, like, I had played baseball and I had played basketball, and I wasn't great at either. And I hated the whole, like, team aspect of it, of a coach, yelling at you to do this and that. It just didn't trigger well with me. It wasn't like I was, like, absolutely miserable doing it, but it wasn't something that, like, I really wholeheartedly enjoyed either. And I wasn't, I was good enough to be, a factor, but it wasn't like, I'm giving up a scholarship to go learn to skateboard, or, you know what I mean? Like, it was enough.
That's totally how it is, right? That's how it is.
Yeah,
You're compartmentalized like that. Like, oh, Austin, he's got a good right arm. We'll use him in the fucking 5th inning. You know?
Yeah, it's like that, and it was like, when I started skating, it was just like, when I picked it up, I just couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to stop. Like, I couldn't get enough. And it was like, and it was just like something in my head just clicked. And it was just like, it felt like this is what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I just felt, and I've never had anything else in my life, like, hit me like that, be like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it was just, and skateboarding has never been one of those things that's come super easy for me. Like, and I can feel like everything that I've accomplished on my skateboard, like, has been because of my hard work, and it's like, I take great, pride in that,
You should.
that it's like, that I just, because it's like, I see, like, other people, I mean, we've all known, like, all these people, several people in our lives who are just, they seem like they're naturals and everything just comes super easy to them.
Yeah.
And they show up at the skate park and they're like, oh, I've never done this trick before. And then they do it second, third try, and it's like, then they're like, nah, it's like, I've known so many people like that over the years. And then it's like, they just decided that they didn't, by the time high school was over, like, they were already done skating. Like, not because of injury or anything. It's just because they're like, yeah. And then they just, like, set it aside. And, every once in a while they'll dust off the board and, they'll show up at the skate park after not skating for 6 years. And then they're just amazing. And then they're just like, meh.
Yeah, that's so wild. If I had, dude, if I had some people's abilities, I couldn't ever imagine.
I know.
Like, dude, if I had some people's abilities, man, I wouldn't, like, I would never leave the skate park. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I would just, that's all I would do. Like, if I could, like, do, like, fucking inverts and fucking, like, super high airs and shit, that's all I would do. I would just literally skate vert all day. That's it.
Just invert after invert.
Just to have that ability. Like, I just, like, it's like, I don't know. It's fucking, it's mythical to me. Whatever, not to fucking shine your dick or whatever, but if anyone, that's like something that a a lot of people would say. Like, it sounds like a thing. Like, it sounds like a nice thing to say. Like, you say you're proud because of your hard work, and anything that you've accomplished, like, through skating is, like, been through your hard work. It's like, I don't know you that well, but I know you, and I know that I've skated. Like, I know that that's fucking true. You know what I mean? That's true facts. Like, that's like, you're a hard worker. You definitely have. And I know skating well enough. Like, I've seen enough footage in my lifetime and been around enough people to where it's like, your skating speaks to your hard work. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, I've witnessed you battle all this shit, so I know you're a hard worker. It's just like the way that you ride your skateboard when you're not working hard, it speaks to the hard work that you're willing to put in when you need to. If that makes sense, you know what
Sure.
I mean? I don't know if that's like fucking mumbo jumbo or whatever. It's like 1 a.m. here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no.
you're a hardworking skateboarder. That's obvious to me just from skating with you for, you know,
Thank you.
sprinkled sessions.
Yeah.
Everyone should be a little bit more like that. I wish I were like. I've always had this thing about skating where it's like, I didn't want to work on it. I just wanted to be inside of it. So, like, just try the trick. If you make it, that's fucking sick. But, like, there's an essence in fucking slamming and or bailing too. Like, there's something, there's, that's part of skating too. And so I probably never, I feel like, honestly, maybe I had natural talent in skateboarding that I didn't really nurture as well as I could have. But that's on me. You know what I mean? But that's obviously not for lack of passion. I just,
Sure.
I just took the ride,
And I think, honestly, like anyone who skateboards, like, especially as long as we have, and, where it essentially engulfs you, at some point or another in your life, that, you have to, you obviously have to have that love and that passion, that drive. But I think that you have to have at least a little bit of natural ability, at least to the point where, like, that, hey, if I can do this, I can do this. And you like see and make the connecting, like blocks, to get you from point A to point B. And it's like, well, if I can frontside 180, and then I can do like a fakie rock on this quarter pipe, and then I do it on this next bigger one up, why can't I frontside disaster it? And you think about it that way, and like how you build it up and you do the different mechanics of it. And I think, like, it's almost like instinctual in the way that natural talent can come out, is that you learn how to think about it and that you can, like, piece that together. And I think sometimes I feel like myself, I can conceptualize something and I'll, like, obsess over it, but I may not be able to ever fully put it together. And, like, it's like the whole trial and error aspect of skateboarding. It's like, you sit and you think and you think and you think, and you're like, I wonder, is this possible? Is this possible? Is this possible? And I guess that's, like, just part of, like, one of the greatest things about skateboarding is it, like, it really is limitless, because there's, skateboarding is just going to continue to go. And maybe, Mark Johnson accomplishes every single skateboard trick ever, but has he? It's just like everyone is just going to keep, like, one up and like just changing it up. And, like,
do you know, because it's like music, dude. There's 12 notes in music. There's only 12 notes. Think about that.
Yeah.
How many fucking infinite songs are there in the world? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I think like I don't think it's and then even if one were to theoretically run out of tricks to do on a skateboard, there's still every combination thereof, switch stance, fakie,
Yeah.
and then just like higher, faster, longer. You know what I mean? I don't think you could ever stop skateboarding from like
Yeah.
it's like a mushroom of creativity. It's just fucking
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
beyond even inside of that, it's like another matrix inside all the creativity of like people start companies, they design t-shirts, they make stickers, they make zines, they fucking make magazines, they make podcasts, they make videos, like, and there's like we've said before, there's styles within that. Like you said, the fucking, you know what I mean? Like there's a fucking Austin Fischer style of editing. There's a fucking, you know what I mean? There's like a fucking
Sure.
a Will Sulzer style of editing. There's a fucking John Hanks style of editing. Everyone has their little fucking lane and
Yeah.
how they, just like skating, how they approach it, how they fucking attack that little obstacle. You know?
And that's what makes it beautiful, man, because it's like everyone can have their own unique style with whether it's, you know, if you're a skate photographer or you're a skate cinematographer or you're a skateboarding like editor or you're just a skateboarder, like everything that you do is the way that you do it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's awesome because it's like everyone has their own shit and they are their own person. And it's just like, and that's part of like when you think of like skateboarding as the big melting pot, it's like, dude, it's like, look at all the different, like if you take like your top 10 favorite pros of all time and just think about how differently they all skate. And they may all be able to do some of the exact same tricks, but they're all going to do them a little bit differently. And they're all going to do them with their own style and their own, they put their extra little flavor on it. It's sick.
Do you have any friends like this? I got a couple friends. I won't mention any names. That like they're purists, and I think they're bummed on how much I yearn to document skateboarding, and they fucking question my. I don't know if they question it, but I'm just like, I get the vibe where it's like, yo, why don't you just fucking enjoy skating? Like, why you gotta film it?
Yeah.
Why you gotta make a zine? Why you gotta have a voice? You know?
Yep.
Do you have people like that in your life that are like other skaters that are like, that you would consider purists that just want to fucking skate and are like, because when you mention you could be just a skater, like I have friends that are like, I don't want any part of whatever sick little world I'm trying to build. They don't. They just wanna.
Right.
They just want to skate and be. They just want to do that. You know.
You know,
Which I love too. It's beautiful. I love that too. You know.
right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely respect that because that's their choice and it's their approach to it, you know, but it's like, and I have known people, you know, that are definitely like that and they get bummed. Like if someone has their phone out or the camera comes out, it's just like all of a sudden they're negative Nancy. And it's like, and it, honestly, it's like, I've had to have conversations with people, you know, a couple times over the years, be like, hey, like, we're going out on a filming mission today. You're welcome to come, but like, you know, don't, you know, I wouldn't say I told them not to, but like, just, hey, just FYI, this is what we're doing, you know, to basically give them the option of not, you know, to bow out if they don't want to be a part of it. But then it's like,
Oh, you're like, hey, we're going skating and there's gonna be a lot of filming going on. So
yeah,
if you don't want to end up in some
yeah,
footage, fucking don't
yeah,
hang out.
yeah, yeah. I've had to have that conversation, and it's like, you know, there's a couple people that I used to skate with, you know, some years back, whatever. But and nowadays not, because kind of because of that. And it's like, it's not to say that it's like not, I don't care about them, or I don't, didn't enjoy skating with them, but it was just kind of like a different dynamic. So it was, and it's like when people are like that, kind of harshen the vibe of the session, it's like, maybe stop inviting them out, and, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and people change. I mean, I know people that have been like all about it and then just decided that like they don't want any part of it anymore. And, a lot of those people have like quit skating, over the years, but it's something that you come across. But
I found too, and it's like, it's like, you don't want to like, whatever, you got to respect how everyone feels. But I found too, this has happened to me so many times, and not just in the arena of skateboarding. Like, it's happened in the world of music too, and other creative stuff where I've done, where it's like people have either bailed on me or laughed at me, and then in the end they've come around. Or like it'll be like we'll have the video premiere and they'll be there, and it's like, shit, you could have had footage in this, but you were fucking a weirdo, you know what I mean? And like, that's unfortunate, because like, like, it's like, whatever, it's like, I'm not even, like, honestly, right now in this moment, I'm not even thinking of anything specifically, but I know there's specific examples, and it's like, I would have loved to have them on board with whatever, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it's like, it's funny sometimes how, like, passion can be like off-putting to some people in a weird way. And I always,
it's almost as if they're looking at you like through different colored lenses. They're like, it's almost as if like they're judging you in the way that you do things, and like that.
Yeah,
like,
it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, why do I feel uncomfortable for doing my thing? Because I know I'm stoked on it. So, and I've just like, it's like, it's too bad that you even have to defend it, but it's like, when you break it down practically, it's like, okay, dude, I'm like this. I get a fucking finite amount of time on planet Earth. So I'm just supposed to sit here, right, and not make any art. I'm just supposed to sit here and watch Netflix and not try to express myself. And I'm just supposed to sit here and be like, oh, you know what, dude? I'm like, no one wants to see me skate. I'm not going to film my friends skate. Like, we're not pro. Fuck that. We suck. Why make a video? Why make a podcast? Why try to fucking have a band? Why write a song? Like, fucking, I'll just sit here like a fucking lump. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the message that fucking, and I don't mean to be so dramatic, but it's like, that's like, it's like, dude, there's forces in the world fucking pulling. And when I hear shit like that, I'm like, that's like a negative influence of like a negative energy. That's like, and I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 40 years. The 40 years so far have been amazing and crazy, and I've realized that it's like, it's very important for me to just go toward the good energy, not to get all hippy dippy on you, but it's like, that's when I get a gut feeling, dude, that's what it is. It's like, I know I seem fucking crazy to people, or I just make decisions or haul off or whatever, but it's like, I've learned to, whenever I've not listened to that and been like the voice of reason, like from the real world, it's come back to bite me in the ass. It's like, when I listen to myself, I'm in good shape. And when I try to talk to myself like another person would, like, you know what I mean? Like a boss or a fucking parent or a coworker would, like, try to reason with myself as if I weren't myself, that's when I get in trouble. And I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this, but No, seriously, like I just went off on a bender, but oh, that's what I'm saying is like when people get like bummed on you for trying to do something. I think what the crux of it might be is like we're amateurs, you know, like we're creative amateurs. So it's like, and people don't want to be associated with that because they don't want to feel like I've known people that have played music, but they don't want to play shows and like take the next step of being in a band like that because they don't necessarily want to fall on their face and like you know what I mean, have like bomb, like be like a stand-up comedian and fucking bomb or skate and slam. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of how I look at it, is like make some shitty art, dude. Take a slam, fuck it, you know, like you'll learn
Yeah.
and do it better next time, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it takes all kinds of people, right?
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
It's a
You
big
know,
it's a big wild party, you know.
yeah.
But
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, we've talked about this before, just about how, like, you know, the way that our minds work is that we want to film and put together videos and include our friends, and we want everyone and anybody, that we know to be a part of it, and we try and we try and try to get, you know, to organize it, and it's like putting together videos just daunting. It's, not just logging the footage and editing, but it's like trying to grab the reins sometimes and wrangle people in. That's like, this guy uses the same excuse that he has to take his dog to get his nails clipped, 6 weeks in a row, or, whatever the fuck ever, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a
but it's
good
like,
one. Hey,
yeah.
hey, that's a good one. That's a
But you
good
know what I
one.
mean? It's like, it's like you want to keep everyone included, and you want to keep, like for myself, I mean, like, I know, like when we're filming and stuff, like always trying to, you know, keep everyone motivated. And, if we, if someone doesn't get out for a couple weeks, I'll usually like hit them up, just kind of check in on them and be like, hey, everything cool? Just want to make sure you're good, and, or whatever, and make sure, still want to be part of it or whatever. But I mean, I think that's just me too. Just like, I think sometimes I care too much,
Oh,
almost like it's,
I feel you, dude. I
you
just
know what I mean? So,
it's for me, it's like the life lesson. I think I'm still going. It's a personal lesson too. It's not just in skateboarding. It's all kinds of relationships, but it's like you can bring a horse to water. You know what I mean? Like you can
yeah,
bring a horse to the water, you can't make him drink. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah. And I know, like when I look back at the videos I made, it's like there's a slightly different cast of characters. You know what I mean? Some people come and go. Some shit's like tighter knit than others, and I kind of like that in a way. You know what I mean? Because it's like a
yeah,
document of my journey through it all.
yeah,
But it's yeah. There's nothing like a solid crew. Don't give up on caring so much, I think is what I'm trying to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
Austin. I was like,
yeah,
because I go through that too, where I'm just like, fuck it. Like I'm just gonna do me. Like god damn it. Like you don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be a part of it. But then
yeah,
it's like at the last minute, dude, I'll buckle and I'll be like, yo, we're going to the spot, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just make it happen one way or the other, But yeah,
yeah,
like I say, if they don't want to drink, once the horse is at the water, it's like fucking yeah. I don't know. I brought not just in skateboarding, but I brought too many horses to too many streams, where it's just like I'm kind of like we're gonna skate or not, you know. Or maybe someone was just in a weird mood that day. Maybe it was just a thing that was, you just caught someone on a weird day.
Yeah.
That happens too. Is there anything you might want to say to the world, or yourself, or me?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to say thank you to you for
Of course, dude. Thanks.
this,
You
navigating through the technical
No,
difficulties.
thank you, man. It's like that's honestly no. Let's break it down. Let's get back into the real bubble. I'm gonna get real. It's like, dude, for me doing this, the biggest drag is harnessing the like. It's a pleasure to have these conversations. It's harnessing the storage and getting it all going, and it's like so. That's been my anxiety about it is like I know that I know all kinds of rad people that would like to do this, but I'm not sure how many people will fuck with me on this level of like, let me call you back, let me try this, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
so thank you
Yeah.
for seriously taking the ride with me over like the course of days and shit, you know. And like I say, I hope we're getting fucking sound right now as we fucking speak. For Jiminy Crickets, you know what I mean? It's just
For sure. For sure.
but yeah, no, I mean it's even so, man, it's just fucking cool rapping with you, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. It's great talking to you. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Josh Pluger and Team Sweat Stain. Thanks for the stickers and the shirts. And shout out to my sponsor, LGSC. Let's Go Skate Club.
Hell yeah, Let's Go Skate Club. Fuck yeah.
Let's Go skateclub.com. Go get yourself a board.
Let's Go Skate Club is doing good things. And they fucking Anthony doing a good job fucking posting and holding it down and promoting and got it going with you and now Jerry, right?
Yeah,
as
Jerry's
well.
riding for us now. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think it's okay. Let's put it this way to rope it into this current conversation. Like that dude Anthony is not one of those people who's like gonna be like not, you know what I mean? Like that dude will gladly fucking go film with you and get down with you on your shit.
Yeah.
I don't know him,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it's like
Yeah.
it's obvious that
Yeah.
he's like enthused, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's definitely motivated, and you know he's gonna have he should have a part drop in here pretty quick. Gonna have some pretty heavy hammers in it.
hell yeah, fuck yeah, no dude, he puts it down.
Hear that, Anthony? I put you on blast, so now you gotta put it out soon.
You gotta get him in your next video, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a couple clips in this last one, but yeah, we're planning on getting together. I mean, the whole pandemic kind of
True.
put a royal fuck you into everyday life and filming and shit for a little while there, but
Yeah.
He already has a couple of clips that we filmed up in Bellingham right before this all went down.
So you film with the mini DV tapes, right? Okay. So you filmed those and you got your rig and you said like Scoops has a rig and your other buddy has a rig.
Jerry's got one, yep.
So is that like a second unit type scenario where they're going out with cats and getting clips and it's like, and then it's coming back to you? Or is it like, are you guys all going out together and getting different angles? Excuse me.
It's a little of both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I can't make it out every time they go out, and sometimes Jerry can't go, sometimes Scoops can't go. So, usually when we're out, unless it's just like me and somebody or other people and not them, we have at least one camera out for like every session. So we have somebody that can be capturing clips. You know, if it's depending on what it is. If sometimes we'll get double angles, or we haven't done the triple angle yet, but
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then once they fill up the tapes, you know, they give them to me, and then we go from there. And uh, uh, and then I log them and edit.
Shred it,
Yeah,
then edit.
edit, shred it, and then edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know. It's like, you know, the last video that we put out back in December, Love. It was, you know, we filmed January of 2018 through October 31st, 2019. So just shy of 2 years, and we had 63 tapes, and that was, you know, 62 minutes per tape. So
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of hours of logging. Yeah. And then we just started, you know, prior to that, us putting that one out, we had actually already started filming for the next one, which is the one we're working on now. You know, and, you know, we're in June of the first year of filming, and we're already at, I think I counted 26 tapes for the year already.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I can't wait to see it. I've had this thing where it's like, if I've conversationally, if I've had to make reference to Continental Crest, I will either preface it or like afterwards I'll be like, the video I made. It's like a sheepish thing, but I've had to own it. I'm just at the point now where I just say Continental Crest and people can fucking know what I'm talking about or not. It's like, it's good, whatever. But yeah. I think that you have to start doing that, but with love. So you're just like, yeah, man. When I made Love, like it was fucking intense, dude. It was in the streets.
It was beautiful.
It was wild. Yeah, I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Love. So when we were making Love, it was just like
63 tapes.
Yeah. Oh, dude, here's one. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Out of those tapes, I would imagine that there's still some. I mean, Love is a full length. It's over an hour long, but I would still wager that there is some gold, some unseen gold, right?
There might be.
So check this out. Let me drop a concept on you, dude. Concept, and this is just, you can just take this and run with it if you're down with it, right? What about this? It's the Love B-sides, right? The soundtrack is totally different. It's not soul music, dude. It's not fucking love songs. The footage is gnarly, okay? And the video is called Hate. And all the songs, dude, are just like crazy, super fast, gnarly, like thrash songs about like the craziest shit, like domestic violence and all this shit. And it's just, the video is called Hate. And it's just, oh yeah, it's super fast. It's only skate park footage. And there's like scooter kids everywhere in the blocking every shot. And it's called Hate.
That sounds like pure hell.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, there is going to be something coming out a little bit later this year with the leftover stuff from Love.
Oh, cool.
So they got a little video in the works with that. So,
tight, man.
You know, planning on coming out later this year. So it'll basically kind of be at the halfway point of the video that we're currently working on.
Do you have a title for this?
I don't have anything yet for the new one. I got a couple ideas, and I mean, I'm always spitballing anything, but
Yeah.
I feel like I know we talked about this before, but it was the titles have always kind of come organically
Yeah.
with everything, and it's like with all the videos that I've made, and like with this one, like we started filming in January 2018, and like I said, wrapped up in October, and it was just like, as aging skateboarders, there's a lot of people in the video, including yourself. Um, but there's nine of
Dude,
us that.
there is a lot of fucking people in that video,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone that skates. That's what I was saying before. Everyone in Seattle knows you. I was like, when I watched that video, I'm like, fucking every single person in Seattle is in this fucking video, dude. It's crazy. There's a lot of heads in that video, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, fuck. I mean, there's nine people with their own parts, and then there was three friends sections. It's
Three
by
friend
far,
sections, yeah.
yeah, it was by far the longest video I've ever made, which came out at like an hour and 10 minutes. But but yeah, it's like the nine of us that had our own parts. It's like the youngest was Jerry at 32, and then the oldest was Dan at 46. So the average age of the nine of us is 38 years old, which is fucking awesome. It's like, and I'll be 38 here in August, so in a couple months. But I don't know. It's awesome. It's just like, so it's like kind of with that, it's obviously we're all getting older and we're all still like very passionate about it. And we all have that drive to get out and just fucking like have fun, but like push ourselves in like, really healthy ways. And it's just the title for this one, like it was just, I kind of was playing with some other ideas and I was just like, it's like, fuck, like I just need to somehow come up with a title that expresses just love. And then it like just one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna call it love. And it was just like that, but it took a lot of thinking and I was just like way overthinking it. And like that's when I was like catching myself way overthinking it. I was like, dude, none of the other videos that I've ever put out have I ever put this much time thinking about what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But it's like I had this idea, for to be about something about the word love. And then I was like, it just kind of one day I was like writing shit down, and I was looking at the list of name and title options that I had half-cocked come up with over the years, in my phone, and then I just typed out, I wrote it out. I wrote love in all capital letters, and like that's when it was like, which is weird because it was just like seeing it. I was like, well, fuck, like that's it. And it's like,
You were looking for love.
yeah. Yeah, and it's like I didn't even like talk to the other guys about it or anything, and it's like, so it was kind of like, and honestly, it's like all the videos that I've made, like I haven't, the people who are in it, that I've filming and putting parts out with and everything, like I've never like asked them to help come up with a title and or anything like that. It's
Or
always
no,
just,
as well as editing. As does that go for editing too?
yeah, it's like I've always just done the editing, and I tell everyone, this is at every video, I'm like, give me 3 songs that you'd like for options that you'd like to skate to, and then I'll tell them like, oh, by the way, your part's roughly about 3.5 minutes, or your part's roughly 5 minutes, so give me some options in that length range.
What about
And
takes? What about takes? Like, yo, you got like 3 heel flips right here that were like, they all are similar. They all look pretty good to me. Like, I struggle with that sometimes where it's like, I don't know which make to take. You know what I mean? And it's like,
are you talking about like the same, like the on the same thing, or
yeah,
three
like,
different heel flips?
no, like if I film, yeah, if it's the same obstacle, like if it's the same session and I film you and you do the same trick 3 times and you land it and we have footage of 3 makes, it's like, I don't, maybe you don't find yourself in that position, but it's like, that happens to me sometimes where it's like, man, I don't know. And I feel like it's I don't know, not the right thing to do, or it's just I've and each video that I've made, I've kind of had a different philosophy that's like guided me. But like the most recent time was I was like open source, like anyone can see anything. I'll take any input. It doesn't. I'm kind of like gonna have the final stamp on what the vibe and aesthetic and everything will look like and sound like and feel like. And to be totally honest with you, dude, when it comes to music, I'm just like, that's just, that's my drug of choice. It's kind of just like, I don't, it's, if I'm editing a video, it's like super hard for me to like, someone just give me a song. I'm like, I'd rather not do that. Like, it's just like, I'd rather, not to sound like a prima donna, but like, I'd rather not edit. Like, that's not fun for me. It's fun for me to be inspired by the footage and pick a song.
Yeah.
It's not super fun for me to like edit to a song. But I don't know. I guess it's just like, that's how I and people that I've filmed with have been always been super cool enough. And like, I think we were saying the other day is like, you can maybe you make a video that's you do a good job and people watch it and then they'll like fuck with you a little bit and trust you to like choose a good song and edit
Yeah.
well and sit on the footage and not have to fucking. But there are some times where, like I was saying, I just come to like, I'm stumped and I'm like, I don't know which. Austin, I need your help. I'm going to send you 3 heel flips and you tell me which one you like the best. And
Yeah, like, I mean,
don't fucking post them.
You know, I've maybe done that like a time or two in the past. Like, you know, hey, you did this twice. I'm leaning towards option A, but do you like option B better? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, you know, it's but it's that hasn't really come up, you know, or anything. But it's like, if someone does a trick multiple times, I'm more than likely just gonna pick the one that I think looks the best.
Yeah.
You know, that they did the best. Um, you know, sometimes it's I mean, this has happened before too, where it's like the one that landed the best was like filmed the worst.
Sure.
And that's always a bummer.
Yeah. That's a part of the puzzle.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just like just trying to work through those kind of issues or whatever. But it's yeah, it's just an awesome process. And yeah.
Do you this is a weird question. I don't think I could answer it. Do you enjoy filming or editing more? Or do you have like, what's your vibe with those?
I mean, I enjoy filming. I think I like the editing process more, even though it's like more tedious and like almost can be stressful. It just but I do enjoy filming. It's you know, if I'm like filming fisheye and I got to film for a long time, then my back hates me, you know, just hunched over, like with the camera all up inside everyone's guts, you know, like, but, you know, I, if I had to pick one of the others, like, as far as what I liked to do, I think I like the editing. It's just like, I, I mean, it can be stressful, but it's like, it's something that I really enjoy doing. And it's one of those things where, you know, in the heat of, you know, when we're wrapped with filming and it's like full on edit mode, I'll sit down on my computer and then I'll feel like I haven't blinked. And, you know, like 5 hours have passed and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And like, fuck, I got to get up for work in 2 hours. So like that legit happened a couple times, you know, like towards the end of editing for Love. And it was just like, but I mean, it was fucking worth it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, I get so involved and sucked into it. And it's like, and sometimes like in that time frame, you get a lot done. And there's other times where it's like, fuck, I got about 45 seconds of fine tune editing in that time frame, you know, it's just, but it's just, you know, depends on the situation and the time and what you're dealing with. And
Dude, when I finished Continental Crust, it was all done, and the very last thing that I had to do was the thank yous and the credits, and like the titles, and that was like,
that, I will say I don't like doing that part.
dude, when you were saying not blinking and time going by,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude, it was like. And this video, dude, it was like one of the times, it was like I was so proud where I actually had the thing done like a week before the first premiere. It wasn't like day of, like times
awesome.
past, where I was like at my house, like still burning CDs, like, ah! I was like ready to go. Everything was well in its place. So I sat down here casually one day to do the credits at 4 p.m. And do you know what time I finished? And this was all I did, dude, was transcribe what I had already written down in a notebook. But I was so psycho about, like, I couldn't have Austin and Fischer on two separate lines. I had to always hit spacebar.
Oh, yeah.
So people's names, and dude, I geeked out on that. I finished at 5 a.m. So
Fuck.
for 13 hours, dude, that was all I did was tweak on fucking names. Just, oh shit, fucking, like, the typewriter got up, and with, you know, fucking in iMovie, which is, yeah, whatever, I edit in iMovie, it's like, you can't.
Hey, I edited Love in iMovie.
It's fucking sick. I love it, but it's like,
Yeah.
You can't, like, when I'm looking at it on when I'm looking at it on the timeline, it's different than the playback. So you fucking think that's how it became 13 hours, was I would think that I had it all fucking nicely tuned up and all the lines were correct, but then I would hit it on the playback and someone's last name would be on the next line. And I'd be like, fuck, I have to go back and hit spacebar 5 times till that's on the next line. And then it would throw everything out of skew. And it just, and I was too, dude, I was too stubborn to let it slide. I was like, no, it's going to be perfect. Fuck it. And at a certain point, you're just like, you're so knee deep in that you're just like, a fucking volcano could go off, like the house could be on fire, and I'll be sitting there hitting that space bar. I'm like, I am fucking finishing this, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a nightmare, dude. It was truly, I wondered, like, what the fuck was wrong with me, you know what I mean? Like it's so tedious.
I just, with doing titles and like the, you know, the credits and stuff, just sometimes I feel like just the way that it overlays over the video or something, it's just like, it's like I feel like I spend way too much time critiquing like the littlest thing, and that part of it stresses me out more than anything. Like I'd rather fuck with trying to perfectly edit this 2-second clip in between beats for 7 hours than to do a couple titles.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can be so stressful.
Yeah. No, that's why like I have to do it last. And that's what I've realized is like I have to like everything has to be done for like 2 days. And I'm like, basically it's a wrap and all I got to do is sit down and do the titles because it's a fucking nightmare. Shit.
Getting late your time.
It really is, dude. I'm about to crash very hard, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But thanks again.
Dude, thank you. Fuck racism.
Fuck yeah. Fuck racism. And
hug your friends. Tell them you love them.
True story.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And huge thanks to my wonderful wife and my amazing kids. And I'm looking forward to whatever you got going on next in the video world.
DTV skate during the virus. You got BTV before the virus, DTV during the virus.
Yeah.
And we're all looking forward to ATV. So
ATV.
Whenever ATV seems like it's about to pop off, that's when I'll start editing. Until then, it's just stacking foot. So I don't know. The video might be 2 minutes long, or it might be fucking 20 minutes long, or 2 hours long, depending on society, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know. But
that's sick. Is it going to be all curb skating?
I mean, it won't be skate park shit, you know, and like Continental Crust had skate parks that had DIY qualities, but this is just going to be pretty much. I hate to say street skating because I feel like people expect like fucking Diago Bussieri or some shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm making a street skating video. It's like, yeah, it's mostly curbs, but it's also not. I wouldn't say that it's like trying to be a curb video. I would say what it is a document of me and my friends skating during these very strange times. And not at the skate park. And, you know, I got a friend with a mini ramp. So that's like, I can't, no matter what, if skate park footage is like forbidden or whatever, I will never rule out backyard mini ramp footage because I just think that it's so sick. Like so I've really just been hitting a couple random spots, and then my friend's mini ramp, and a couple really kind of like secret mission-y spots too, where like me and my buddy got together at like 4:30 in the morning and went to like a mini golf course that like the pools weren't filled yet.
Oh shit.
And so like we did a couple things like that, just kind of like shit, almost like you were saying, like, you know how you were saying like you'll be like there were times where you're like editing and then you're stacking you're editing one project, but you're already like, if new footage comes up, it's going into the next video because you're like, so this is shit. These are spots or like visual ideas or styles that I had, ideas that I had, almost like filming tricks, if you will, ideas that I had that I wanted to do in Continental Crust, but it just, the timing, you know, it didn't. And now it's like I've gotten together with the right people, or the timing has worked out with the right friend or whatever, to where it's like, okay, yeah, no, we're going to film. Like that mini golf course was just like, I just needed someone who was willing to like set their alarm and fucking hop the fence. It felt like being a kid again. Like,
oh, yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I fucking hopped a fence to go skate. And then when we were all quiet, we were like fucking all quiet down low, like, it's so funny. You're trying to skate and be quiet. It's like 5 a.m. and you're fucking skate. It's like, and you're all like whispering. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited about it, but I don't know. You know, I don't I don't want to hype it up because I like you're not supposed to hype up your own shit and like also like what if it's lame? I don't know. Maybe it's lame. I'm stoked on the clips that I got. You know. Not
Oh
me.
yeah.
I feel like I'm starting to slip into more of a filmer mode than like this is the first time stacking this shit up is the first time to where I've taken people to places and not skated. Like just been like, no, you have at it. Like I'll film. Like I've literally never done that before in my last in the last couple videos I made. So like I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know if that means I'm fucking evolving as a filmer or devolving as a skater, but it is what it is, I guess.
You gotta make sure you're getting some too.
I know. I took a super bad slam the day before my 40th birthday, and it kind of
You got that one bomb in that hill?
yeah. To be
Dude,
honest,
that was gnarly.
to be
Like
honest,
that slam. Woo.
it it got my sciatica going up, and more than anything, dude, it took a little psychological wind out of my sails. It was I was like there was a time after that same day that we hit the mini golf course. We went to a bunch of other spots, and it was like I was trying to ollie like do this line that ended up with ollie in this gap, and it was the craziest thing because I got a mental block about ollies, and this was no time to do that. Like I just kept freezing up and either bailing or like sticking it and slamming. Like dude, it was kind of scary because it was like a psychological breakdown. It wasn't like anything with my skating. It was just like I spiraled into a place that I hadn't really been to before.
Damn.
And I think it was from taking that bad slam. It just kind of spooked me, you know? But
Damn.
I've been coming back. I've been skating. I've been trying to skate more like fucking tranny and like not like bigger shit, but just trying to skate shit that's like faster and like trying to like scare myself a little bit because like it was super weird where I couldn't ollie, dude. It was like it was like skate constipation, dude. It was so weird. I just kept throwing these ollies away for no reason, and it was totally in my head. It was a dark place, dude. But
Hey man. Time to shake it loose.
dude, my friend Paul was just the most glorious, kindest, raddest filmer hype man who just brought me out of it and just talked me back off the ledge and got me to do it. So yeah,
Sick.
that was awesome. Yeah, I was just like, and like I said, dude, I know we're wrapping up, but I think part of it was like the regular stress of skating and filming and slamming in this pandemic, in this racial tension, in this unrest, in all this crazy shit. It's like I would slam and then like get triggered. Like the whole thing would unravel and like the whole world would just be like, the whole world's falling apart and you can't even fucking ollie. God damn it. Like, you know, like I would kind of lose it a little bit. So, but, you know, to end on a positive note, shout out to my friend Paul because it's just sometimes you just need those friends to fucking
Hell yeah.
keep the hype going even when you might be fucking hanging on for dear life yourself, you know?
Yeah. For real. For sure. Well, I'll have to send you some clips for your video
Yeah. Oh, do that, man. Let's get into it.
to keep the stoke alive.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, fucking I'm gonna sign off here.
All right, brother.
I'm
Thank
getting
you again.
the
This was a
laryngitis.
blast.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. Thanks for bearing with me, and let's see what we can do.